showed you this beautiful, beautiful red bell pepper. This beautiful red bell pepper, a yellow onion, and a clove of garlic. Some cloves of garlic. I am starting by slicing off the beautiful cheeks of this red bell pepper. The beautiful cheeks of this red bell pepper. This cheeky, cheeky red bell pepper. And I am taking out the white pith. The white pith of the cheeky, cheeky red bell pepper. Taking out the white pith, because the white pith does not taste sweet, delicious, and cheeky. You want your red bell peppers to not only look cheeky, but also taste cheeky. I am now slicing the bell pepper into some batons and chopping these into tiny little cubes. Tiny dice of red cheeky bell pepper. Cheeky red bell pepper that I'm putting into a stainless steel bowl. Every bit of the cheeky bell pepper gets placed into the stainless steel bowl. Gotta make sure it's flat. The cheek should be flat in order for me to slice it properly. A properly sliceable cheek should be flat. That was delicious. I love me a cheeky red bell pepper. I love the sweetness and the crunch of a bell pepper. Also, do you like eating sounds? That was the first time we've had eating sounds on the channel. Maybe besides some sauce tasting or something. I'm continuing to place this cheeky red crunchy bell pepper into the stainless steel bowl and slicing away some more. Slicing. This is a delicious bell pepper. It's a delicious bell pepper. I washed the bell pepper before slicing it, so it should be safe to eat because I rinsed the bell pepper, and it is delicious. Continuing to dice this cheeky bastard. This cheeky bastard. And I am now a little snack. I hope you enjoy eating sounds. I think these crunchy bell pepper chewing sounds are quite enjoyable. Quite nice to listen to. I'm now moving on to the onion, and I hope you weren't expecting me to also take bits of the onion and chew them, because I will not be doing that. I'm taking off the end piece of the onion because it looked kind of dried up, and I'm peeling its skin. I'm peeling the onion skin, so we don't have any dry bits of onion skin in our paella. Now, giving the onion some slices, making sure not to slice all the way through the onion, so the back stays connected. The back should be connected for us to dice the onion. same bowl as the bell pepper, I'm also going to put the garlic in the same bowl, and we're gonna roast everything together. We're going to saute all of these aromatics and vegetables together in olive oil, in some olive oil. I am now peeling some cloves of garlic. Some garlic cloves. I'm peeling garlic cloves. Gotta make sure that your garlic is peeled. Although I guess in some preparations you could leave the skins on, but not for this paella. Gotta get all of those little garlic skins off my cutting board before we slice, before we slice the garlic. Slicing garlic is satisfying until all your fingers are sticky, because garlic is super sticky. I am now grabbing a piece of chorizo. I'm slicing the piece of chorizo in half, and we're now gonna slice it into sticks and then into cubes. I usually get like a smaller in diameter chorizo, but my supermarket did not have any, because I'm pretty sure I'm the only person that ever bought it. So they discontinued it, and now I have to go up to the counter and get a big slice of chorizo. I have to get a big slice of chorizo that I can then chop into little dice. We're going to place this chorizo in a tiny bowl. Here you can see the tiny bowl. Next we have some prawns, some shrimp. These are black tiger prawns, defrosted black tiger prawns that I am now de-shelling. I am de-shelling the defrosted prawns so I can make a shrimp or prawn stock, out of the prawn shells. I want this paella to have a seafood taste, so I want a prawn stock to give flavor to the rice. We'll have saffron and prawns flavor this paella. I made the mistake of taking the heads off of the prawns before taking off the shell. If you leave the head on, then it is easier to some of them, the vein already came out when I took off the head. And some of them have nothing inside of their vein. See, these look nice and clean. There's one. But that's kind of it. All the others were clean. This is a vacuum sealed bag of portioned octopus pieces. Some octopus pieces that I portioned a while ago for making takoyaki, Japanese octopus dough balls. But I decided I want some octopus in this paella. So I added one portion. I am now unpackaging a box of boneless, skinless chicken thighs. And we are slicing them into bite-sized pieces. Slicing the chicken thighs into bite-sized pieces. Usually, when I make paella, I add chicken. And if I have some prawn shells, then I use the prawn shells for stock. That's why I always keep my prawn shells when I have prawns. I always keep the shells. If I want to make some paella, I just freeze the shells and I can use them whenever. Alright, the chicken has been sliced. Now this is a little mortar and pestle made of olive wood that I exclusively use for grinding saffron. So we're taking some saffron threads, and putting them in the mortar and pestle into the mortar, and now grinding them with the pestle. Until we have a smooth powder. There you go. We're now taking out some rice, some arroz cebolla. But I do not have any arroz bomba, which is what you typically use for paella, I think. But this bag of rice has a paella on the packaging, so I'm sure it's alright. I am making this paella for myself, although I admit it is a bit much. So I'm taking like 2/3 of this glass full of rice grains. 2/3 of this glass is filled with rice grains. Here we have our, I think it's carbon steel paella pan, our paella pan, that I am adding olive oil to. I'm adding olive oil to the carbon steel paella pan, and waiting for that to get hot, before adding the prawns and the octopus. Although the octopus so making a little hole in the middle so I can add the bite-sized chunks of chicken. Bite-sized chunks of chicken. Adding some bite-sized chunks of chicken. Bite-sized chunks of chicken. Giving that a stir. Giving it a stir. Giving it a stir before we add the rice. We're next going to add the rice to the mix. So the rice can get some olive oil exposure as well. I'm now adding the rice. And mixing that around. So the rice can get some olive oil coating of olive oil. A coating of olive oil. I am now adding a dollop of tomato paste. Some tomato paste is always good in these types of dishes, I feel. And I hope it's not non-traditional. Now, pouring through a strainer, I'm adding our prawn stock, and tapping on the mortar with the pestle. So all of the saffron drops into the paella. Salting the paella. And giving it a stir. Now, I know typically with paella, you're not supposed to stir. I think you're just supposed to stir in the beginning and then leave everything as it is. But I'm just so scared that the bottom will burn. The sokarat. I'm pretty sure it's called the sokarat. The sokarat of the paella will burn, and I do not want a burned sokarat on my paella. So I always give it a couple stirs, and then I just let it develop a sokarat in the last few seconds or minutes of the paella finishing up. Do you guys have any video suggestions for me? Do you want some specific dishes to be made by me in the next videos? Please, if you have any suggestions on what videos I should make next, or what dishes I should cook, feel free to drop a comment. On what I should cook next. What would you like to see? Thank you so much